Hello, I'm John. This is Necromunda, Ruins of Jardlan, and you're watching War Games, Models, and Other Hobbies. Hello and welcome to this video. I'm going to be doing some building in this video of a kit I bought a while ago, but I want to talk about the inspiration I had for this. I've just received the new Necromunda campaign book, the Aranthian Succession, Ruins of Jardlan. It's the third in this series. Really interesting series of books. But I want to talk about one thing I saw in here as I was going through. So let me quickly flick through to the page. Well, pages. So the first thing, when I was looking at the artwork, was that, just in the bottom left-hand corner. That is the Taurus Venator, which was a Forge World kit for quite a while, and then it was discontinued, but it's now popped up in this. And I saw this first and I thought, oh cool, they've converted an old model to using it. And then further through the book, as I flick through the pages, was this artwork of two enforcers with their vehicle, which looked very much like the Venator. And then further on, there we have in the book enforcer vehicle, the Taurus Venator, available as a playable vehicle. And I thought, brilliant, are they going to bring the kit back? Who knows? But even if they don't, I've got one. I bought it when they were discontinuing it. I wish I'd bought a few more. Yesterday evening I spent some time cleaning up parts from the sprues. So we have just here all of the cleaned up sections for the main vehicle. I haven't included the weapons because it has different weapon options in Necromunda to what it had in Warhammer 40,000. But what I'm going to do in this video is put this together and have a general chat while I do so. So first things first, I do have in the drawer here some of the instructions, which I'm just going to have off camera while I put this together, so I put it together correctly. Really interesting kit, this one, because it comes with, if I just get the right pieces, here we go, all of these suspension mounts for the wheels all fit in together along the bottom, and then the tyres, the wheels, fit over the top of these. So that's the first job, is sticking these in. And yeah, let's get started. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom in a little bit while I do this. Let's just move the bits out of the way that I don't need for now. So yeah, I'm really happy to see this kit in the new book. I tend to, at the moment, I'm making a lot more Necromunda than playing it. But I do want to get back into playing it, as I think it's a really great game system. But also this gives me the excuse to make another gang, as I like the modelling process. So what it looks like I need to do is some super glue in the point there on the ends of the suspension struts and in the holes down there. So I'll do this bit by bit. I've got to think about the crew for this though. The original crew are the drop troops that, I mean, they'd work painted up as enforcers, but they don't have the same armour, which is, I know it's not a big problem, but I'd quite like them all to have matching armour in a new gang. But the one thing that I did like the drop troops an awful lot, but I did find they were quite fiddly kits, these ones. Lots of small parts, especially the actual troopers. I do have a few of them unmade, and I might use them and convert them to use in Necromunda actually, now that they're kind of shifting a few things over there, and I can make up a gang or something, or have them as hired guns. So I just want to make sure that's in place. So I'm just going to hold that for a little bit. But yeah, while I hold that, let's have a look. This is the original crew that come with it. And with some head swaps, they could work quite nicely, but they don't have the same kind of chest plates and things. And I do like the Enforcers in Necromunda, so it'd be nice to convert some crew for this. To do that, though, I'm going to have to buy a new Enforcer kit. So it might be something that I look at over the next few months to get. Okay, so the benefit, well, I'll just look at this. When these wheels go on, there is some play in how you can position them. So it doesn't matter if the suspension parts don't quite line up. Well, I am hoping, though, because this is now in the rulebook, that they're either going to re-release this kit, probably as a Forge World kit, but with new parts, so we can have the Enforcers driving it, or have a conversion kit separate. Who knows? They kind of go sporadically when they're releasing the Necromunda stuff, so suddenly you'll get a flurry of things, and then nothing for a little while. But it is, I think, probably my favourite game system. So something I do want to start playing again. So let's hold that in place. So, I mean, I could heat these. I mean, something you can do with the resin ones, you can put them in hot water, which makes them a little bit pliable. But as I'm going to be able to put the wheels on and adjust them, I'm not going to worry too much if these don't line up perfectly, because you're not going to see them when the vehicle's like that. So I'm going to work my way forward. So I think the next thing that I want to put on is the little running boards, the kick boards at the side. At time of filming this, the new Games Workshop website has been up for a week now, and they've merged all the Forge World items and Black Library, Games Workshop, everything under the one Warhammer website. It's alright. I know there's complaints about it, but it's a website when it comes down to it. You can access all of your models and things that you want. I mean, granted, it is new and people don't like new things or change, but hey, things change for the better or the worse. I'm babbling now while I make this, but hey ho. Okay. So, one thing I do know about the front section, so I put those on, I am going to have to trim these pipes when I put them on. So I'm going to make sure I have the right ones in place. Let's have a look. Yeah, I actually trim quite a lot off those so it'll fit in place. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah, so if that's got to go in there, quite a bit's got to come off. And this might be something that I end up having to adjust with green stuff later on. I'm not too worried if it's going to get hidden by the wheels and everything. That is, actually, that's a really That's not the best fit at all, that one. I've got it the right way around. I have got it the right way around. It's just not. Whether the resin is slightly twisted, I don't know. Let's have a quick look. And yeah, so the front suspension, they should go together like that. And then this should just sit. Oh. Okay, so it does kind of. I need to trim that one. Let's trim a bit off that one. Probably too much. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole thing. There we go. That just went into place, which is good. Let's okay, so I fast forwarded that section because it was an absolute nightmare. I broke a bit, I had to trim bits off, really not a good part of the kit. Hopefully, if they do re-release this for Necromunda, they sort that front suspension out. But for now, okay, fine, that's that done. So the next bit, what I'm going to do, because I ended up, let's zoom in a little bit on this so you can see. I ended up trimming out that section. So I'm going to use a piece from here just to refill that. Let me just trim that to fit. Is that going to fit in there? It is going to fit in there. So let's put a little blob of glue. I've got a feeling that if you drop this, those front wheels will fly off and be really quite annoying. So anyone who hasn't built this kit who has it, or if they re-release it and they don't update it, take your time on these bits, because they're not one of those relaxing parts of a hobby. They're quite stressful. But there we go, that's in place. That will dry in place, which will be fine. Okay, let's zoom out slightly again. Cool, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to turn that over, and next bit is these back plates where the lights are. So let's put the super glue. I forget how, I mean, I used to do a lot of models in metal. I've got a project at the moment that I'm going to do soon in metal, which I'll show a video of. Done a lot of resin work. I like working with resin, but when you have a mass produced piece that ends up, the molds might get a little bit warped and worn, you never get a really nice cast from it after a while, and it's why they discontinue them, because the molds end up going. But yeah, it is a bit of a pain. But anyway, there's the back. You can see there's a little bit of twist in it. I could, like I said, I could heat it up if I wanted, but I'm not really going to bother with this one because I'm going to end up putting it on a base and things. So, there is, as I flip through the different pages, I think I've lost one of the pages of the instructions, but hey ho. So this wants to sit on the back like that, so it just hooks on. So let me just tidy up another little bit of that. So once I've done this, so I keep babbling while I'm doing it, but once I've done this, I'm going to work out what weapon loadout I want. I think I'm going to go with more of the sustained fire, because it can have heavy stubbers. So I might have twin link heavy stubbers on it. I know that's twisted a bit, but I quite like it. It looks like someone's reversed and dented it, so we'll leave it like that. Where was I saying? Ah, yeah. So the I think I might do heavy stubbers as the turret weapon. Okay, so that holds in that as well. So if you ever get this kit, if they re-release it, like I said, or whatever, be wary when you're putting this front bit on, as it goes over all of that nightmare front. So don't put it on first, because you're going to be even more annoyed as you try and build it. Plenty of super glue on this. Let's bring that front end. Right, I'm going to hold this for a little bit. Hopefully that'll hold in place with the super glue and it won't flick up again. Otherwise I'm going to have to heat that piece, I think. Okay, so it was a good thing that I had to hold that for a while because my battery ran out. So I've charged it up again and I'm going to get back to carrying on with this. So now that underside is stuck together and that base is down, none of that is moving. The super glue's really dried off nicely. I'm going to put the control panel in place, which goes just in there. So let's get some glue on that. Now, there's a few bits of this kit I am going to leave off. I can't remember if I've already said it in this video because I had to wait for this to recharge. But I'm going to leave the weapons off because I need to convert some new weapons for this. And probably the roll cage and turret I'll leave off as well, so I can decide how to convert the people inside. So what I mean by that, we have here this section slides in there, the turret sits on top like that, and then our roll cage on the front of the cab slots into here, which is all well and good, but I won't be able to get a person inside. So I'm going to leave that off for now until I've converted someone to go in there. I'm not going to worry about sticking the turret down, but I will put this section in place. So I need to put glue in a few little places on this. But yeah, if they re-release this model, it's going to be a popular one again, I think, and you'll probably see a lot of Enforcer gangs appearing in Necromunda again. I am thinking about my Ash Waste Enforcer gang. I like collecting Necromunda gangs, so I tend to build a starter gang and then move on to another one before I even play any games or anything with them. So I do want to work out a few little mini narrative campaigns or narrative scenarios that I can video on this channel with those gangs, and you can kind of watch their kind of exploits. If you'd prefer to see Underhive or Ash Wastes in that respect, please drop a comment. I'm quite happy to oblige either or both, or a combination of the two. So, let me just place the wheels on first. I want to see how they sit on this Venator. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm just going to put some glue on them and then put them in position, because that looks pretty good. Yeah, so once they're in position... Yeah, okay, so... I'm going to put it into each of the tyres. Nice blob. I was thinking about this, if these don't actually work with the tyres, I'm going to put some green stuff in them. Whoops. To then have them sit in place with the green stuff curing. But I'm going to try this for now. Just going to sit them down. Probably will need to put some more in. Oh, hang on, what's going on there? Okay, there is a little notch on that one, so I'm going to have to take a bit of this off so that can sit in there. That's better. So let's wait for a second with those. But yeah, I'm thinking about the paint scheme or the ideas for this gang. I'll probably keep it similar to my other one, my Underhive Enforcer gang with the colour scheme and everything. I was thinking possibly for the vehicles to maybe get a bit of inspiration from the first Mad Max film. So either do all blue with yellow red stripes, or yellow and blue with a red stripe, like the Interceptors and Pursuit vehicles that they have in those. So that one's loose, that needs a bit more glue in. If in doubt, chuck in more glue. So those front wheels are okay. Let's do a bit more on that one. I do wish I picked up a few more of these when they were released. I did actually prefer the smaller one, which had the guy hanging off the back of it rather than sitting in a turret. But unfortunately I missed out on that one. Okay, we'll let those dry, those wheels. So I'm tempted, I might put this on a base when I kind of carry on with the conversion. I'm not sure for now. But right now we can put them in just by placing them. So we've got those roll bars. Do have to trim them back slightly, so I might take them off once I've finished the video. There we have the Venator without any weapons on or crew. But I think that's going to really be a nice addition to the Necromunda vehicle family. Hopefully they will do a re-release of this, maybe update the model, make a few bits a little bit simpler to put together. But yeah, in a later video I'm going to run through the conversion of this, so the new weapons for the turret, the driver and the gunner, and also I'm going to work out some equipment and things to go on it as well. But for now I'm going to leave this as is. I'm just going to take that out so I don't break that front section. But I hope you've enjoyed watching me put this together with the ups and downs of certain bits and details and so on. But yeah, stay tuned for another video in the future when I add the conversion parts to this and start working on the gang. But for now, my name's John, and you've been watching Wargames, Models, and Other Hobbies.